Greetings. Welcome to Cellular Biomedicine Group fourth quarter 2019 earnings results conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. A question and answer session will follow the formal presentation. If anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press star zero on your telephone keypad. Please note, this conference is being recorded. I would now like to turn the conference over to your host, Derek Lee, Head of Strategy and Investor Relations. Thank you. You may begin.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. Speaking today is Cellular Biomedicine Group's Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer, Tony Liu. After he completes his fourth quarter 2019 annual update, we will open the call to questions. Please note that some of the information you will hear during our discussion today will consist of forward-looking statements, including without limitation those regarding revenue, gross margin, operating expenses, other income and expenses, taxes, capital allocation, timing and outcome of clinical trials and approvals, future operational changes, and future business outlook. Actual results or trends could differ materially from our forecast. For more information, please refer to the risk factors discussed in CBMG's most recently filed period reports on Form 10-K and Form 10-Q. Cellular Biomedicine Group assumes no obligation to update any forward-looking statement or information, which you get those as of their respective dates. I'd now like to turn the call over to Tony for introductory remarks.
Thank you, Derek, and thank you everyone for joining us today. 2019 was an exciting year for Cellular Biomedicine Group. We're expanding our footprint in Maryland. We are renovating a 22,000 square foot facility in Rockville. This expansion is to further expand our research and development capabilities and to support clinical development in the U.S. We plan to move into the new facility in the late Q3. On the immuno-oncology or IO side, we achieved 4 major milestones. First, we initiated patient recruitment for our study on anti-BCMA CAR T therapy for relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma in China. We presented initial safety and efficacy data at the annual conference of American Society of Hematology, or ASH, in December. We showed clinical data for 5 patients. All 5 showed clinical improvement as early as 2 weeks post-infusion. The early results support our findings from preclinical research, and we are cautiously optimistic that the drug will show meaningful therapeutic index after we accumulate more data. The very early clinical efficacy signal at low and suboptimal dosing is encouraging, but it needs to be confirmed. We will continue to enroll more patients, although it will be at a slower rate due to the coronavirus, and we will monitor and evaluate the duration of response and will continue to evaluate the data as it becomes available. Secondly, we have started to evaluate anti-CD19, CD20 BiCAR in relapsed refractory non-Hodgkin lymphoma, or R/R NHL patients in China. Based on the clinical signal, we may consider clinical development of the assay in the U.S. if we believe there is a clear competitive edge. Thirdly, we dosed our first HCC patient with alpha fetoprotein T-cell receptor, or FPTCR, in China. China has almost 500,000 of new liver cancer patients each year. Finally, we initiated our study for anti-CD20 CAR T, targeting previously anti-CD19 CAR T treated relapsed diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, or DLBCL patients in China. Regarding our tumor-infiltrating lymphocyte, or TIL asset, we're planning to launch our U.S. study in non-small cell lung cancer patients that are refractory or relapsed after IO treatment in collaboration with leading principal investigator and the partner medical center. Indeed, 2019 provided us a good start on the IO pipeline, try to attain proof of concept to migrate towards IND filings. We're continuing to advance our drug candidates both in China and the U.S. Regarding our regenerative medicine pipeline, we launched our phase 2 multi-center trial in China on off-the-shelf allogenic human adipose-derived mesenchymal progenitor cell, or HAMPC, as a potential therapy for knee osteoarthritis, or KOA. And we plan to advance the autologous KOA multi-center phase 2 trial in Q2 this year. We ended the year with $32.4 million in cash equivalents, and restricted cash compared with $52.8 million for 2018. And last month, we secured a $16 million bridge loan to shore up our balance sheet. We have $14.3 million in short-term debt, and compared to none for 2019. Our net cash used in operating activities was $39.6 million, compared to $25.1 million for 2018. The year-over-year increase was for research and development. As you're aware, since December of last year, there has been an ongoing global outbreak of coronavirus disease, or COVID-19. It began in Wuhan, China, and has spread rapidly. The situation has already impacted CBMG as is still fluid. We have had a slowdown in the recruitment of our patients for all of our studies, as the hospital system in China has adjusted quickly to deal with the challenges surrounding COVID-19. We anticipate a slowdown in patient recruitment for our clinical studies. The full extent to which the coronavirus will negatively impact our business, operations, and results is highly uncertain and cannot be accurately predicted. We're committed to supporting the communities in which we operate and have recently collaborated with Shanghai Regional Hospital to provide human mesenchymal stem cell exosomes to treat severe novel coronavirus-caused pneumonia in their clinical trial. Overall, Cellular Biomedicine Group has continued to progress on both the clinical and operational side of our business. We're continuing to execute our vision to build a global platform capable of researching, developing, and manufacturing innovative cell therapies to benefit patients. Cell therapy has been embraced by both startups and large pharmas, with clear clinical benefits provided to patients globally. CBMG intends to leverage our internal capabilities, namely robust vein-to-vein integrated biopharma capabilities, as well as external collaborations to bring therapies to patients and help cure cancer. With that, I'll turn you back to Derek, opening our discussion for any questions you may have for us.
At this time, we will be conducting a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you would like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, as we poll for questions. Our first question comes from the line of Madhu Kumar with Baird. Please proceed with your question.
Yeah, thanks for taking our question. So, thinking about the cadence of news flow for 2020. So, you have a data set in myeloma, you have a data set kind of emerging with the BICAR, the HCC program, the CD20 program. When might we expect kind of results kind of to build from these clinical studies as they progress through the year?
Hey, Madhu. Great question. This is Tony. I think as I stated earlier, the coronavirus is going to cause probably a short delay, but after that, I expect us to be thoroughly focused to continue enroll patients for all these studies. In fact, we have plans lined up already that to execute the minute when we see improvement in the overall in the environment, where we have been working work with the PIs and hospitals, and we intend to enroll more, sign more patients, more PIs, more hospitals. So I think that we should study some data by mid-year or later second half of the year for these programs.
Okay, then thinking about the U.S. non-small cell lung cancer TIL trial, to what extent is that trial designed similar to an earlier non-small cell lung cancer TIL trial that was performed out of the Moffitt Cancer Center? And what are your expectations for kind of the cadence of data flow from your non-small cell TIL trial?
Great question, Madhu. Our approach, we always believe in TIL technology. We have started this almost a year and a half ago in terms of process development. And we have what we call a TIL 1 or 2 strategy. TIL 1 would be similar to what the studies has been done previously, but we're going to improve the manufacturing process on it. And TIL 2 is pretty much based on what we call biomarker-based selection or selection-based, and where you selected those T cells based on biomarker, then expanded. And in the perfect situation, you would expect that with lower cells but more specific from the target killing perspective. In terms of the development clinical aspect of it, certainly for TIL 1, we're trying to stay similar or with the exception of process improvement from what has been done before. So our goal and target is put things together, and our manufacturing capacity or capability will be ready by Q3. Hopefully, after that, we're aiming to prepare for IND filing in the U.S.
Okay, great. Thanks for taking our questions.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of Amanda Murphy with BTIG. Please do with your question.
Hi, Tony. Hi, team. This is Tosineti Koya calling in for Amanda Murphy. I have 2 questions, and the first one has to do with the Novartis collaboration on Kymriah. I was wondering if you could give us a status update on that collaboration. And then the second question, I heard Tony just talk about a pilot study on mesenchymal stem cell exosomes treating the novel coronavirus. And I was wondering if you could expand on that, give us some insight into this work and where it could go over the course of the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Great questions. First one about our collaboration with Novartis. Certainly, so far, everything has been executing based on our both sides strategy project plan. So that has been going well, and I have confidence that Novartis and CBMG are working together. We, in fact, even during this outbreak, the minute when the office start to open and employees start to come to work, and we already ensure the Novartis partnership or the project continue as top priority. So everything's going well over there. I'm very pleased with the progress. With respect to the study I just mentioned with Region Hospital using the stem cell derived from the exomes technology perspective, this is really put together over the past 3-4 weeks, if you will. And I think that certainly we're trying to do everything we can to expedite the process. And as of this minute, already from the going through all the necessary from approval perspective, we already manufactured some materials and needed, and I think they're going through process, hopefully, in a matter of weeks, and we'll be in study from the in-human study. So I expect that should be starting what we call investigated initial studies trials, not a full IND at this stage. But we're eager and excited. At the same time, I am extremely cautious about, as you know, this is certainly is a long shot. I wouldn't try to say this is a big set anybody with high expectation. Certainly, we are pleased with the response and the team we're able to put together. Work with Regional Hospital will provide manufacturing capabilities for that.
Thank you.
Since we have no further questions left in the queue, I would like to turn the floor back over to Mr. Derek Lee for any closing remarks.
Thank you so much for everyone's time. And if there are any additional questions, you can always email me at derek.lee@cellbiomedgroup.com. Thank you so much.
This concludes today's teleconference. You may now disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation, and have a wonderful day.